a strong black nation. We gotta build a strong black army, fighting for my liberation. Cause I believe in God and Garvey. I ain't looking for no handouts. I'm fighting for my just dues. I represent the vanguard, the front line of revolution. We don't need their nooses. We got a wrong solution. Suppression and depression suggested that we ain't human. Pick up yourself by the straps of your boots. Perhaps the flight to fight back and they get back to their roots. Back to recruit like you be do. They'd rather see me.
Peace and power, family. This is Aisha Shaheed coming to you live from Houston, Texas, representing all neighborhoods proudly united. And this is our 5th episode of Real Eyes, Real Eyes, Real News, where we uplift and unify voices, expose truths, and empower change. And today we got 2 great, amazing brothers. I got the power of knowing on the podcast. One good brother I got to meet in person, personally, out in Oakland. Another good brother I hope to meet very soon. And today's episode is called Real Eyes on the Revolution. And in our community, we've seen many leaders come to arise or try to rise in the Black movement, whether it's Malcolm X, whether it was Marcus Garvey, whether it was Khalid Muhammad, and we saw a lot of downfalls in their practices as well. And so we want to get into some of our modern, recent brothers in the movement and just tap in with them and just see how everything is going, where everything is headed. And so without further ado, I want to tap in first with my good brother, Jabari Shaw, and just introduce yourself and give everybody a little background about what you do.
Yeah, I'm Minister of Confrontation, Jabari Shaw. I'm the Commissioner General for the UNIA ACL Rehabilitation Committee, founded by Marcus Garvey, 1914, the red, black, and the green. I dedicate my body, mind, and my spirit to the protection, defense, and security of the red, the black, and the green. I dedicate my life to the redemption of Mother Africa and to the liberation of her scattered Black children. I accept for myself and my descendants the teachings of universal African nationalism, and I accept for me and my descendants. Yeah, I stuttered a little bit, but yeah, that's what we're about. That's what we do. You know, we're a self-help organization and we're a love self-first organization, and we're about uplifting the Black community in any way that we can. And where we don't have the resources, we, go to the government and force them to use our tax monies to for programs for us. And I'm also a Panther Cub, growing up in Oakland, California. You love the Panthers, and I've had the honor and privilege to be taught by Bobby Seale himself, to know Angela Davis, Dr. Satoru Ned, big man Albert Howard, and so many Panthers, Billy X, who's a curator for the Black Panther Party, and to learn the legacy and see what's going on, and advance the struggle. Franz Fanon said, each generation out of relative obscurity has the obligation to find its purpose, fulfill it, or portray it. And so we are those who decide to fulfill our purpose.
Shay, my brother, we appreciate that strong introduction. And by the way, everybody, that song you heard in the intro, that's this brother right here. Okay, that's Jabari Garvey. It's called God and Garvey, and
Yes, yes.
very powerful. I actually heard him perform that when I was out there in Oakland. He had the whole room jumping, and that's one of my favorite songs that he has. And so he allowed me the pleasure of starting the show with that song. So I appreciate you. That's a strong, powerful song. And y'all make sure y'all go get that on Apple Music and Spotify.
Yes.
You gotta put the plug in. And
Yeah.
and
That's the
next we got
links.
another good brother. He's straight out of Philly. And so again, I love that we have the East and the West Coast and the South. This is what we call nation building, bringing everybody together. And so without further ado, Brother Rhaeem Shabazz, will you get on and let us know more about you and what you have going on in your community?
Absolutely. Salute. And first I want to say thank y'all for having me on board. All power to the people, Black Power, race first. I'm part of the original Black Panther Party under General Mike Payne and Sister General Zuri Payne and a few other honorable leaders that I'm still getting to know, and at the same time do a lot of community work. We do a lot of combat work as well, and do speaking engagements. We do community rallies. Main thing we do patrols and vanguards. That's 100%. And we're also focused on missing children in our communities and runaways in our communities and police brutality. Basically, we're carrying on the tradition of Huey P. Newton, Bobby Seale, and Fred Hampton Jr., and also Dr. Khalid Muhammad. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody got different paths and everybody got different lanes. And so the main thing is me, myself, me and a few other brothers and sisters 2 years ago, we started an organization called Do for Self Inc. And we started a clothing line and we just made it a movement. And the main thing is we just incorporated, and so now we're just focused on setting up a school where we could name it Do for Self Timbuktu Learning Institute, where youth could come to our building, where we could have Zoom classes for them, whether we're doing it once a month or twice a month. We're teaching them history. That'll be my path. But whether sisters or brothers want to can help us, those who are proficient in English or whichever, will put money in their pockets. You know what I'm saying? That's the main thing. But as we get established, we'll make sure we bring other people on. But right now, we're just doing it as grassroots. You know what I mean? And me myself, I'm just a humble soldier. Like, I don't claim no rank. I'm just a man. I'm a father. I'm a soldier, and I'm here for our people. And at the same time, I'm here to look, learn, and listen, and liberate with our people as well. And I represent Philadelphia, and I represent also Hampton, Virginia, and we're here, and that's my main thing. To say the youth first, race first, Black Power, all power to the people. And once again, thank y'all for having me on board.
Absolutely. We appreciate you and another strong introduction. And so, guys, y'all know me. I like to get straight to it. I don't like to waste no time. And so I have some real powerful questions to ask you guys. And it's very possible that our good brother John Mucci Career will hop on. He's busy. He's always doing something. And so one of the veteran of Black Panthers, who was a part of the Oakland chapter 2 as well. And so if he's able to hop on, we sure will greatly appreciate it. But if not, we know his spirit is here and he'll tap in with us in the back end. But my first question to both of you, um, when doing this kind of work, and being in the movement or labeling yourself as a revolutionary, um, Jabari, I'll ask you first. When was the first time you were called into the revolutionary work, and when did you know that it was more than just something to do or activism, but it was your life's purpose, pretty much?
Well, I was in the pen as an inmate when they executed Stanley Tookie Williams, and to see, that he was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize, and the man was a saint. You feel me? At the end of his life, for them to do him the way that they did, we protested. We didn't eat. And it just changed my mind. I enrolled into Laney College and got into the Black Student Union and was working with the party from that day on. And so it was like, for me, it was like a broken window theory. You can't just apologize and say, I'm sorry I broke your window. You got to rebuild. You got to replace the window before you can even ask for forgiveness. So that was my thing, to get forgiveness by rebuilding my community that I helped destroy. I was a part of that hyphy movement, the beginning of it, going dumb and doing all this crazy stuff. And I feel like I was promoted what's going on right now. Now we looking at gangs in my city. We looking at, my nephew just got murdered not too long ago. So we looking at the perpetuation of black on black violence, and I know I was a part of it. So it's my duty to fight. It's my duty to go and rebuild the community that I helped destroy. And I just had the honor of coming across some brilliant minds who've been in the struggle, and I'm just trying to continue it.
Wow, that's powerful. That's powerful, and we appreciate you for seeing it that way and doing that, good brother. And same question for you, brother Raheem.
Salute, hey, condolences to your nephew first and foremost, brother Jabari,
Yes,
and
sir.
out here in Philadelphia, just basically growing up, I always know about the movement, and we always been in tune with it. With my aunt, my God bless her soul, my aunt Jouette, she always kept me in tune with our our history. You know what I'm saying? From the 1985 bombing to there's a townhome, well, there's a row house out North Philadelphia where Malcolm X stood and lived at. You know what I'm saying? He opened up the temples throughout the nations, but he started off NYC, Boston, Jersey, and he marched down to Philadelphia. And Philadelphia is a prominent home of knowledge itself, and it's a prominent home of the original Moors. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it was established. But the main thing is the historical fact behind the movement is Panthers are everywhere. Panthers are within us. You know what I'm saying? We are all Panthers. You know what I
Mm,
mean? We are all revolutionaries. I
mm,
am a revolutionary. You know what I'm saying? You are a revolutionary. Brother Jabari is a revolutionary. It's in your nature. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? And to be a revolutionary, it doesn't come easy. Like, to be honest with you, you know what I'm saying? Like, just take a stand against the government that you know is destroying everything in America, KKK, and that's going against you, that want to incriminate you for any type of charge. They want to incarcerate you, me, you, everybody, if they
yeah,
got the opportunity to
yeah,
quickly. You know what I'm saying? If not, they want to get rid of us. You know what I'm saying? And it's quite obvious from the pandemic to the atrocities we've been going through for the past 650 years. You know what I'm saying? I'm just be real clear. Like, I stand more with Dr. Khalid Muhammad, where when we came out of slave, excuse me, when we came out of bondage, because we was prisoners of war, because we didn't walk into it freely. They held the guns to our tribes. They held the guns to us and said, "This is what it is. If you don't, we're gonna lynch you. We're gonna castrate you. We're gonna do this. We're gonna rape your mother and sell your children down the river." And that's exactly what they did. So we was prisoners of war, and when we was quote unquote free through the Declaration of Independence, we should have went right back to war against the people who held us captives. You know what I'm saying? We went and became politicians, and we had our 40 acres in the mule, and then Anthony Johnson, after they murdered Abraham Lincoln, took it all right back. So we should have went
mm,
right back to war. And
mm,
that's something that I sit back and analyze like, yo, if we don't go to war soon, we're gonna continue 50, 100 years, more police brutalities. You know what I'm saying? More young brothers who's driving these trucks nationwide, 18, 19 years old, found lynched. You know what I'm saying? More sisters getting harassed by the police as she dropping her children off at school. That happened in Florida. You know what I mean? And the question you asked is when I started taking it more serious in my personal life. I always knew about the movement, always been involved since I was 11. But when I officially joined, I was out of the Navy. I did 8 years in the Navy, and I joined about like 4 years after that. Is doing the Nat Turner movie, Birth of a Nation. And I seen these brothers come, and this was out here in Norfolk, Virginia, and cause I got stationed. That's how I ended up out here, cause I got stationed out here, and I
mm,
seen these brothers coming out the museum. It was 100 deep, all black. You know what I'm saying? And me, I never been the type person like, oh, I want to belong to this, I want to belong to that. Always been an individual where I'm independent. But when I saw that, I knew that I was supposed to be there. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Because I'm the one to be complaining to people like, yo, we need to do this, we need to do that. A few months prior to that, a brother jumped in my face. He's a New York brother. He's like, yo, then do something. Then do something. And then boom, months later, I seen the opportunity where I had to do something, and that's about
mm,
6 years ago. And I joined the movement then, and I joined this gun club, and then eventually I joined the original Black Panther Party, and I'm a proud member and humbly serving and a humble soldier, and we're doing something. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I can sit back and say like the work is being done, and the main thing is we just gonna set the tone, and Just focus on these babies, man. Save these youth. You know what I mean? That's the main thing. So once again, salute. Salute. All power to the people. Black power.
Our power to the people. I appreciate that. That's powerful. And you said something at the beginning of when you were talking. You were saying, we have the revolution in us. We're already revolutionaries. So my next question is, many people may say the movement, chose them. So would you say the movement chose you, or did you choose the movement? Because there's so many things in the world that's fighting for our attention right now, and to be able to choose this and not choose something else is powerful. So, which way was it for you, Brother Jabari?
My birth name is Jabari. You know, I didn't change my name when I came to consciousness. My father actually was part of one of the first black student unions in America at Berkeley High, and he changed his name to Jabari Ali, and that's how I was named that. So he benefited from going to Panther stuff, and my grandmother was at the March on Washington, and so even my grandfather shot some white people and had to run to Louisiana from Louisiana to California. So you know, we always had the struggle of resistance in us. I've always heard the stories. And then so when I got involved, it wasn't me that thought I was a revolutionary. It was OPD, the FBI, and the US Marshals that came after me in 2015 and solidified the work that I had to do. You know, I was in a violent car crash. They said they mistook me for a murder suspect 2 weeks after we shut down the police station, and I was in the newspapers like, how do you mistake a man that's protesting you publicly? So it let me know that there's no turning back, you know what I mean? And I went through PTSD and stuff, and I ended up working with the Panther doctor Tobert Smalls, who did acupuncture and got me off of the opiates. And he let me know, he's like, yeah man, they probably are trying to kill you, you know what I'm saying, but what you gonna do? So we could die in the shower, I could die walking down the stairs, or I could die, you know what I'm saying, doing this work. We all want to be remembered. We all want to be recognized. And that's the only way that we can be recognized, through the work that we do for the people.
Absolutely. My next question I want to ask the both of you is, when we're doing this work, we know that many hands make light work. We need the people, we need the community to come outside. Um, how has it been for y'all to get the community to support what y'all are doing?
You want me to start, or the brother didn't?
Or go ahead, Brother Raheem. Brother Raheem can start first.
I mean, I was told that you could just start right where you at. I mean, right where your block is at, your neighbors, your community, your co-workers. If you're online, like me, I like to lay low, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? And to be real with you, my name Robert. That's the my name my father named me. You know what I'm saying? Because his name was Robert. You know what I'm saying? My aunts, they got the different names like the Jewettes and everything. But when they became knowledge of self and they became Islam, they changed their names. Me, I consider myself a man of God, but I also consider myself original man, an Asiatic man as well. So I consider myself all of the above. I don't claim no religion to be exact, but I have taken my shahada within Islam, and that's when I changed my name to Raheem, which blends in with Robert as well. You know what I mean? It don't blend in, but I kept the R. And my cousin, a few of my cousins, they took the name Shabazz from Malcolm El Haj Shabazz, and so the Shabazz, I took that as well because I knew that we are the lost tribe of Shabazz, and so it stuck with me, and so I still gotta pay taxes and make money using my government name. So my government name, it pays the bills, it feeds my children. You know what I mean? Feed my family. But at the same time, I try to somebody want to get to know me. Hey, my name Raheem. You know what I'm saying? Like even at work, like, hey, what's your name? On my check, it say this, but yo, call me this. You feel me? And that's how I move. And so I don't say that I was chosen for the movement. I say that I definitely walked into it. I had to learn. I had to learn the good, bad, and the ugly of it. But most importantly, I had to learn the leaders who actually sacrificed, who died. You know what I'm saying? Like to the last one, to Dr. Steve Coakley, to Dr. Khalid Muhammad. You know what I'm saying? To Dr. L. Malcolm El Haj Shabazz. Dr. Martin Luther King, you know what I mean? Medgar Evers. They say Huey P. Newton got shot. I still believe that was a CIA setup. You know what I mean? MK Ultra. You know what I'm saying? And God bless Martin Luther King brother. He got hit, mysteriously drowned in the pool. So I sit back and analyze myself daily, hourly. If we was in the 60s and if we was in the 70s, the stance that we take would definitely be marked. And I won't even take the fact that we're not marked now. You know what I'm saying? I understand it's dangerous. I tell people, stay dangerous because they're dangerous. Our guns are knockoffs.
Hmm.
According to what Dr. Rizza Islam said, y'all guns are knockoffs. They got lasers in the damn sky. They can shoot you while you're taking a piss. And they can't. But we fear nobody but God Himself. So at the end of the day, we've been here. We the original people. We ain't going nowhere. They can't do nothing that they haven't already tried.
Hmm.
So we got nothing to fear. So that's why I take that stand and I understand what we're in, understand what we stand for, and I tell people like, yo, you learn your path and you take your lane. You know what I'm saying? Like I might do things differently. Don't be like me. Be you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And do what you got to do. Long as you contribute into the movement, that's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? Like there's brothers like that one rogue brother. I forgot his name, but he went and took out some police. He jumped across the fences. You know what I'm saying? He went and did things independently. And God bless his soul. And imagine if we all had to go to war like that. Like them people who raided the DC Capitol. They went to war against the government. We ain't had nothing to do with that. But imagine if that was us. They would have tried to hit us with the lasers or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But we would have still been here. That's my mentality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that day might come, but we might have to raid the Capitol. I got brothers who did prison time. They be like, hey man, call me when they all go down. I be like, bet. You know what I'm saying? Because they got 60, 70 years if they violate anything. So they move cautiously. You know what I mean? And one thing they tell me, hey, how about we go hit the courthouse and go take out the judges? I'm like, nah, let's go hit the National Treasury and go get the money.
Hmm.
And that's why I would go raid. They raid the wrong place. I'll go be at the National Treasury. So that's all I'm gonna say. So salute y'all.
Look,
That dollar ain't worth the money. That paper they printed it on.
Uh,
right.
they
But
they went into empty offices taking pictures in Pelosi office. Man, I would have been in the Treasury counting some dollars. I would have came out that joint. They would have had to throw me in the prison for 100+ years with a bag of money. I would have tried it. But
Me
nah, I
too
wouldn't.
funny.
I'm not no wildcat like that. But I'm just saying, like
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
strategically, we have to be strategic because we don't want to have early demises. We don't want to be foolish in the movement. You know what I'm saying? We got to move strategically. You know what I'm saying? But there's gonna be a time where that civil war might happen. It might happen within our lifetime. You feel me? And that's all I'm gonna say.
And you mentioned some very important and powerful names that we were able have been able to experience in the African American community or American African community. And one thing, I see so many different groups and organizations and people in the Black Panther movements and different PvP movements. Um, but I don't see many of these people getting wisdom from any of the elders or any elders in their community. So Brother Jabari, can you help me tap in on that a little bit? What it means to, when doing this work, being able to have some great wise elders or somebody to support you and guide you on this journey, to educate you on what to do and what not to do and what didn't work and what will work as well. Go ahead.
So first, I want to touch on that organizing question because we got to recognize the difference in organizing and mobilizing. So sometimes, something tragic happened and everybody run to it, but we don't have much retention. So the police murder somebody, they in the streets, they tear up the streets, but we don't have people organizing. So we recognize ourselves as the vanguard party. We always organizing. We always in the political education. We training ourselves, and then so when the race war, whatever happens, we're ready. They gonna run to us like, they not listening right now. They don't want to hear nothing we got to say until it come to their front door. But we recognize that and we keep organizing, similar to the Rosa Parks story. That was a setup. She had the bail money before she got on the bus. And so we've got to recognize that we know how the system is going to act and the people are going to react. When they react, we have to be ready with the plan or else it'll be a catastrophe. So that's how we organize. And then we tune in with the elders who have been there and seen it before. So this Black Panther History Month, one of the mothers, she had said, we in the 60s again. You know what I'm saying? Trump is Tricky Dick Nixon. You know what I'm saying? We going through Reaganomics and the Nixon period right now, where they talking about ICE raids and this and that. And it's not just the Mexicans because they like put the Mexicans in one truck and put the black folks in the other ones, checked in for probation and parole. So we looking at a Gestapo period, as Huey would call it, And so in the spirit of Sankofa, we have to look back to move forward. So without recognizing what goes on with the elders. So like one of my elders, Elder Freeman, his brother was in a 4.5 hour shootout with the SWAT team. 3 days after they killed Fred Hampton, they tried to hit the LA Panthers, and they was ready though, and so a 4.5 hour shootout that they had, and everybody survived. Because they was like sandbagging the house, they was
Yeah,
ready for what was inevitable, by reading Robert F. Williams and seeing what his struggle was. So
yeah,
we stand on the shoulders of our ancestors, and if we don't look at what they struggle was, then we would never know or understand what's going on, overstand what's going on. So it's imperative that we tap in with them. And so Elder Freeman, who had been through it and shootouts and everything, he said the biggest mistake that they made in the Panther Party was the guns. They only carried the guns for about a year. And it's not saying don't protect yourself, but openly, publicly carrying the guns, it may put a target on their back. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? So it was like, if you got guns, don't tell them about it. You know what I'm saying? You're not
Right.
gonna tell somebody I'm gonna punch you in the right eye right now. You know what I'm saying? You just gonna hit that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we gotta stop forecasting our blows. You know what I'm saying? And the elders have lived through the struggle to be able to tell that story so that we could, you know what I mean, stand on what they put down.
Absolutely,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Absolutely. My next questions we're gonna tap into, just real boots on the ground of the real work that you got to do to make an impact in our community. And so my next question is to the both of you, and brother Raheem, you can start first. What in your community specifically, but as a whole, what are the most urgent needs that you see that our community uh, needs today?
100%. Black on black violence got to end, and that's just from my peripheral. You know what I'm saying? Black on black violence got to end, and poverty. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of brothers and sisters in poverty that I know for a fact in just Philadelphia alone, Washington D.C., um, the 757, Hampton Roads. Black on black violence got to end. You know what I mean? Like our real enemies, our real oppressors are laughing at us. Every day they turn on the TV, they see more brothers killing each other. You know what I'm saying? Once we take these guns down from each other and really liberate and unite by the thousands, the 100,000s, by the millions, because there's 50 million black brothers and sisters on this United States of America, if I'm not mistaken. And we increasing. We ain't going nowhere. There's females having babies, babies and babies and babies, and I love it. I know sisters with 8 kids, 6 kids. I don't knock them because I want us to continue to grow. You know what I'm saying? We must put the guns down towards each other. Black on black violence must end. And then we could defeat, and I'm saying real blood, we could defeat white supremacy. We could defeat Zionism. We could defeat global Zionism. We got brothers and sisters in Sudan that's at war. You know what I'm saying? Against the UAE and against each other. We got brothers and sisters that's in Nigeria at war against the UAE and each other. So the message got to go global. Black on black violence. Once we stop that globally, from Haiti to Jamaica, Philly, Cali, Los Angeles, Dallas, Texas, Houston, Texas, Mississippi, New York, hey, we be unstoppable. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I feel about it. That's the climate of our nation right now. You know what I mean? We got a lot of black liberation going on. You mentioned the clubs, the gun clubs, and the organizations. There's a lot of organizations. There's a lot of brothers and sisters stepping up. You know what I'm saying? And so once the brothers and sisters we continue to step up, other brothers and sisters gonna step up. So we just continue to set the tone. You know what I mean? Even from Chicago, you know what I mean? Like I only been to Chicago twice. I was stationed out there doing boot camp. It was cold. You know what I mean? Like it's cold out there. But if the brothers could out there in what they call it, O block, if they could all unite and if they could unite all the brothers and the youth from the gangster disciples to the all the gangs in Chicago, you know what I'm saying? If they could all unite, man, LA gangs unite, New York gangs unite, Philly gangs unite. You know how powerful the black and brown community would be? You know what I'm saying? And that's all I gotta
Absolutely.
say. Salute y'all. I yield with that. All power to the
Absolutely.
people.
Go ahead, Brother Jamari. You can answer that question next.
Yeah, all power. I completely agree with the brother, but one of the biggest crises out here is the homelessness and houselessness issue in California. They pushing us out, yeah, things is costing way too much. There's no rent control, and then so it's driving us to do all kind of crazy things. But I completely agree with the brother. Organizational unity. We got Oakland is maybe the mecca of black organizations. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
more. It's a chapter of every organization I know. In the Oakland Bay area, but we don't have no unity. We have
Mm,
a Malcolm X Day. We be 5 different events for Malcolm X. You know what I mean? And we not coming together. We have a lot of black billionaires, millionaires, but we have random black businesses here and there. We're not coming together to put to power our money to even, buy bulk. So that's the biggest issue, that not having organizational unity. And so they just had a race first rally a couple months ago up in Baltimore. And so we planning to have an African redemption convention out here in Oakland, California next August to be able to have a memorandum of understanding. And you and I, hey, we call them decorations of my eye, to where we could come together and say we're gonna work on this, that, and the other as organization unity up under one banner. You feel me? And then we get to have conflict resolutions through this medium and that medium, to not go through Facebook and all of that like we done in the past. So we learning on how to come together and organize with each other. The problem is everybody wants to be the leader, so we trying to figure out the best ways to work with everybody. And you can, keep your same platform, but let's make sure that we get this goal accomplished. You know what I mean? Together.
Ooh, oh, y'all all saying so much. I'm trying to remember everything so I can touch on everything. But all that is powerful. And I've been able to go to Oakland a couple of times, and I've seen exactly, brother, what you're talking about, the homelessness, the theft, um, just the lack of support. Sister Mama Gabby, who has the garden, Long Live Love Foundation, and the block getting shot up and everything like that. It's a lot really going on. And when I go to Oakland, this is what it feels like to me. It literally feels like a bomb was dropped on Oakland. It just feels like it has like like a cloud, like an eerie feeling. Like, I mean, it's cool out there, but it feels like I can remember. My spirit remembers what it used to be. That's what my spirit feels when I'm there. And it's like, man, it has changed a lot. And so, um, to be there, I think it's very, very important that the community organizations do come together, and that's the whole purpose is why I started our Neighborhoods Powerfully United, to connect with different organizations in different neighborhoods and connect with them and bring our resources together so we can show unity, so our community can believe us and trust us and know that we're here to support them and help them and not harm them. We're not going around toting rifles and guns trying to intimidate nobody. We're really coming to bring real tangible resources in the community and let you know what's going on, because everybody don't know what's going on. Everybody doesn't tune into the news. Everybody doesn't tune into local uh, events and town hall meetings and things of that nature, but we do. And if you can't make it, we want to bring it to you. So I definitely feel you and support you with that, Brother Jabari. And with Brother Raheem and him touching on the black on black crime, I think that is so, that's really imperative, because and it's really a matter of knowing who you are, remembering who you are. Um, it's really about removing from the toxic culture, right, and getting into the holistic culture. That is the music, our close proximity, the people in poverty, in the close proximities. You know what I'm saying? All of these different things that matter, that play a part. Um, Including the gun laws. Everybody want to be a thug and a gangster. But that's not even really who you are. And so I definitely do think, as a holistic practitioner myself, that when we got to start holding spaces, um, just like they do in Oakland with Brother Peace and Brother Mikael, they have the peace, the brothers walking in the woods and the hike and things like that. Like, that's over 30, 40, 50, 60 brothers that be out there. Some may be former gang members, some probably didn't, somebody, whatever. But that is what is needed in communities. And we can continue to push that and show up like that ways and let people know, like, to remember who they are and to know what self-love is and utilize that. I think that will also be a way where we can work on putting the guns down. So we need more events about putting the guns down in our community. So salute to both of y'all for those powerful pieces and testimonies to the question. So my next question to you guys is, um, I think Brother Jabari tapped on it. And when it comes to the different organizations, some of us, I'm a part of an organization. I've been a part of others. And sometimes we see, like you said, people in leadership, there's a lot of ego um, that's involved. And how do we navigate that when trying to work with other and unite with other organizations, and we're dealing with people who everybody want to be a chief, nobody want to be an Indian, everybody want to be the leader, everybody wants to be that go-to person. um how do we navigate that so we can get to the end result? Because I have witnessed myself, um and been involved in um a lot of negative self-hate, um, and being projected into the community. People want to expose somebody online and not using that same energy for the ones who are oppressing you, but using it for your own brother and sister in the community. So can both of y'all tap on that? That was a lot,
I
but
say this.
Yeah,
Nah,
definitely.
that's a tough question, because, and it's a good question at the same time, because me, I've had the experience where I've technically grew up in leadership. Like, I'm the older brother. I had two little brothers, and unfortunately, one of my little brothers is deceased. He committed suicide, and it wasn't technically nothing to do with the streets. It was just due to his life and marriage, and things became overwhelming for him, and that's how it happened. And so, with leadership though, you you gotta keep going. You know what I'm saying? Like no matter what, you gotta keep going. And at the same time, like you gotta know when to be a soldier. You gotta know like, hey, you're not chief. You know what I'm saying? You might be the soldier today. You might need to stand at that door while
Hmm.
the brother or sister is speaking. You know what I'm saying? Or you might need to stand outside in the rain. You know what I'm saying? While your whole team is inside, but you stand in guard. You feel me? You gotta know how to take orders, and that could be a humbling thing too. And so
And
I
that's leader,
learned that.
and that's leader to leader
You know what I mean? And I've learned
when
that in my
necessary.
I learned that in my youth years, but I also learned that in the military. Some brothers go through the incarceration system. Some people got good jobs and they learn leadership. Some people are naturally born leaders. I don't say I'm either or. I love saying I'm a soldier first. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, like I'll take the initiatives on anything that's possible, that's logical, and that's not emotional. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, also when it comes to nobody's gonna always get along. You know what I mean? I don't always get along with people. There's certain principles I don't rock with. You know what I'm saying? I don't rock with pedophilias. I don't rock with rats. You know what I'm saying? I don't. I'm not too cool with the white folks. You know what I'm saying? I gotta work, but I ain't Mr. Buddy Buddy with them. My main thing is I'd rather do for self and run my own business. But if I have white customers, hey, my name's Raheem. How you doing? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna live cordial, and at the end of the day, but the main thing is 95% of them they don't like us. They know the power they have. Because if the tables were turned, they'll blow this whole earth up. If we was in Congress, if we was taking over the White House, if we was in these merchant ships going across the seas and dealing with, just the other day, the Saudi prince, quote unquote Saudi prince, was in on the White House. You know what I'm saying? We want to take control back of our land because this is our land. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole mission of us saying black power. You know what I mean? It ain't just a slogan where we throw up our fists. We want economic power. You know what I'm saying? We want global economic power. This Fortune 500 companies, majority of them are white owned. Majority of them. That has to change. That's why we started Do for Self because we tired of working for them. We get our little 401 checks, little health care, and we putting their children in college. They children taking over the business, and we still old heads working in these corporations. I don't want my youth growing up like that. You know what I'm saying? Not just
Yeah.
my children. I don't want none of our youth growing up like that. I want to own our own banks. We got more HBCUs nationwide than just 52 or 56. The next 20, 30 years, we need to have like 200, 300 of them. You know what I'm saying? We have our own prestige colleges like Harvard and Yale without all that indoctrination mess. And these brothers and sisters running for political office. And that's my vision. That
Yeah.
Marcus Garvey vision. You know what I'm saying? That's why they took him out. Because he's way ahead of his time. That man had boats ready. You know what I'm saying? He did get funded by quote unquote whoever. You know what I'm saying? And that's what got him sunken in that ship. He ain't know no better though.
All right,
Let's
brother
be
Raheem.
real.
Let me tap in with brother Jabari on the question. Because you going in right now, and so we want to tap back in with him about you know, dealing with people in leadership and egos and trying to come together as community organizations.
Yeah, yeah, so it's crazy dealing with egos. I mean, we got a lot of egos and alphas in leadership, though. You know what I'm saying? And that's mandatory in leadership sometimes. But I look at the example of Malcolm X. You know what I mean? And and what he did with calling out the honorable Elijah Muhammad, and I don't think that that was necessarily the right road to go. You know what I mean? Sometimes we just have to let things unfold and let people see for themselves what's going on. We don't have to be the one to call them out. And so I was a part of organization for about 12 years, and I didn't like what was going on, but I decided rather than just contest them, just step away, and keep continuing to do the work. So a lot of times we always want to be the exposed self culture, you know what I'm saying? But really, we harming the movement more than we could be, you know what I'm saying, helping the movement. So we run off and say all of these exaggerated untruths that and don't know no better, and it just hurts the movement for potential people that's coming in. So sometimes we have to weigh out the good and the bad. So, like, you can have a organization that's turning gang members into, what I'm saying. Look at the Nation of Islam, what they was doing with people. You know what I'm saying. Even though some folks don't agree with all of their politics, they was what I mean, bringing people up from a bad condition. So we have to look at, okay, the good work that some groups are doing and allow them to do that, and just continue to do the work that we need to do. We can't micromanage everybody. We can't expect everybody to be on the same level. You know what I mean? We got
Yeah.
people that's rappers. Let's get at the rappers and have them do one or two positive songs. They don't have to be, you know what I'm saying, completely a revolutionary. You know what I mean? So that's what I think that we need. Well, I know that we need to do, meet people where they at. Survey the community more rather than telling them what they need to be doing. They used to go door to door asking people, what do you need? It's arrogant of us as organizers or leaders to just tell people, you know what I mean? Yeah, you need. So we used to go feeding the people, but they was getting so many food stamps, they was throwing food away. They was like, I don't want none of this. So you know what I mean? Our hard work and dedication go to naught because we haven't even surveyed the people to ask them what they need. So I think that's important in leadership, to know that we servants of the people. We're not the oligarchy of the people, and so many of us get it mistaken. But I definitely feel like we need elder boards. We need to have organizational unity where we have groups that we could come to and talk, hold tribunals that have teeth to them, and
Mm.
and talk it behind closed doors and deal it between us, instead of going to our enemy to fix our problems. So because when they complained on Garvey, they went to the white man to complain on Garvey. They didn't get a group of black people together to deal with the situation, and that's our problem.
I 100%
I totally agree,
agree with you.
especially meeting the people right where they at. You know what I'm saying? Like, you mentioned earlier on Sankofa. I've learned where you definitely got to meet them where they at. Like, I learned from one of the old heads out in DC. He said, "Hey man, even if you got to have a beer with them, go buy them a beer, get them a pack of cigarettes, smoke a blunt with them. Whatever you got to do for them to get knowledge of self and for them to get out of their zone and their element. Tap in with them. You know what I'm saying? Don't become them, but show them the way. Like, look, let me go ahead and get you a pack of cigarettes, bro. But meanwhile, let me give you this flyer real quick so you can come to this meeting we're having. You know what I'm saying? Or this rally we're having. And that's another reason why we started the clothing, where a lot of people might not want to hear what we gotta say. Man, like, bro, I ain't trying to hear that shit. I'm hungry today. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I got court tomorrow, man. I'm facing 15. You know what I'm saying? Or my baby moms, she got my kids. I can't even see my kids. Or a sister be like, man, nigga, I ain't trying to hear none of that shit. My lights about to get cut off. Anybody trying to hear that? So we started the clothing. You know what I'm saying? People see it on the clothing. They see the history of us. They see the messages. And they be like, yo, what is that? You know what I'm saying? And we explain it to them. And we'll give them a shirt. He'll take it. Or we'll lock in with them on Facebook. We'll just continue to set the tone. Like, I don't know a lot of people on this earth. I've been around though. I've been across the seas. I've been up and down the East Coast. I've never been to Cali. I've never been to Asia. You know what I mean? But I'm fortunate for the people I do know. I'm fortunate for the people I'm meeting even just now, because that's part of liberating. And that's also part of leadership, where we're all uniting. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a soldier for brother Jabari, no sister. I'm a soldier for you, sister. And that's
I
my main
appreciate
thing, y'all. Salute.
I appreciate you.
So
Um, my last question I want to get into before I tap into a couple of some mental health question. My last question I want to get into. Both of y'all mentioned again some powerful names: Brother Khalid Muhammad, Marcus Garvey, um, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. In doing this work, how do we keep the spirits of past revolutionaries, alive as we build this new path of the new generation? We mentioned Bobby Seale, Brother John Bunchy Creer. So how do we keep their spirit alive again when doing this work? Well, Jabari, you can go ahead and go first.
Yeah, we got to know that we are them. You know what I mean? First off, in doing this work, I started to overstand some of them speeches even more. Dr. Khaled was saying, you know what I mean? And because I'm living it. So it's like I talk to the ancestors all the time now, as I'm reading their books. And that's what Garvey said, read good literature, because in that you can sit with the ancestors that you may never meet in real life. And so
Mhm.
that's what we doing. And they alive and they with us, I'm trying to help an elder now write his book, and so just to keep their names alive in our shades, you know. It's important. We are them, and just knowing and walking that knowing that there's an unbroken struggle. I remember Huey said in Revolutionary Suicide that the Black Panther Party started in 1619 when the first Africans resisted colonialism. So you have to think about it. It never stopped. We are them, and we the prayer of the ancestors that we'll wake up one day, and so we just have to walk in that and just keep moving, and advance the struggle.
Absolutely. Brother Raheem, you want to tap in on that question a little bit?
Yeah, brother Jabari, you mentioned a few brothers' names that was unknown to me. I know Robert Williams, but there was another brother name you mentioned. Um, I can't recite his name.
I think I said Freeman, the
Freeman.
Freeman brothers. It's a movie you should see, 41st and Central. They talk
Tenfold,
about when they shot up the Black Panther headquarters in LA under
tenfold,
Geronimo Pratt.
tenfold. I definitely know Geronimo Pratt. He did it. Did it big, and absolutely. That's why I love what we do, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm also a student. I'm a student in the stool. I look, learn, and listen, and I take I take heed, and I also enjoy what we do. So I'm grateful, and salute once again, y'all.
That's it. Yeah, and can I mention too about Elder Freeman, the brother he asked about? So
Yeah.
Elder Freeman's his grandfather was a Garveyite, you know what I'm saying? And when Garvey got kicked out of America, he joined the Moorish Science Temple. And then Elder Freeman was with the Black Panther Party, and then they joined the UNIA in 9091. And that's when Khalid Muhammad stood with Marcus Garvey Jr. and Elder Freeman, you know what I'm saying, in LA at a conference. And so we think of them as different organizations, and we shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? We all struggling for liberation. You know what I mean? So you can call it what you want to, but it's all a struggle for our freedom. We freedom fighters. So and
Absolutely.
once we
As
understand
we
that,
say
then,
out here,
then
we
we
say
can stop the beef.
we say one village, one fight, man. I mean, we all in the same war. And me, I take I'm not a spiritual person. Like I might not sage, but I do pray. You know what I'm saying? And I believe, just like you mentioned, brother. I'm glad you brought it up. Like Huey P. Newton said, we've been at war since 1619. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that we take for granted because a lot of us as Black Americans, we're comfortable in America. You know what I'm saying? There's brothers who got big houses, got their money right, their cars. They ain't trying to hear about the struggle. You know what I'm saying? And that's real. You mentioned the athletes, like, yo, the Cowboys playing, right? There's multimillionaires on that field. If all them brothers put that money together, they could buy the leagues. You know what I'm saying? If them sisters in the WNBA put their money together, they could buy the WNBA. LeBron James. If they ain't knock off Kobe, the government, that's just my opinion though. God bless Kobe. You know what I mean? No, he Philly, but he rep LA the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? They knocked the helicopter. If they ain't happen to Kobe, him, LeBron, Jordan, A lot of them could have bought the league. You know, that's the vision. You know what I'm saying? So me, I pray that the next 100 years, like Dr. Amos Wilson, 100 year plan for us, cause they got 100 year plan. The Chinese got 100 year plan. You know what I'm saying? We gotta have 100 year plan, and we gotta execute that. You know what I mean? Then they come with the Republicans come up with a big plan, big beautiful bill. They got a plan. You know what I'm saying? What's ours? And so we got to continue to fight. So continue to do what you're doing, brother Jabari, sister. You continue to do what you're doing, and we gonna unite all the coasts by any means. You know what I mean? That's my
Yes.
prayers. You know what I mean? And y'all do what y'all do to get the prayers up, saging or whatever. You know what I mean?
Say you know whatever.
You know, we pray PRAY, but we pray like PREY. You know what I'm saying?
That part. That part.
Yes, sir.
And so I want to get into my next couple of questions. It's been a great conversation with the both of you. I am some of y'all, both of y'all may know, I am a holistic practitioner and professional. So I do yoga. I do support people with breath meditation work, aquatic therapy, chakra bouncing, and all that other good stuff. And it's definitely needed in our community because a lot of our people are still dealing with PTSD, what I call post traumatic slave depression. People are still dealing with that, and it's rooted deep. But in doing this work, well, first of all, I want to get into how I started my organization, Our Neighbors Powerfully United. I started the organization when George Floyd was unalived, and leading up to that, leading up to that, the last thing I actually focused on and put my energy into was Sandra Bland. I attended Prairie View A&M University. We attended the same college. And so that was a very, very impactful time in my life. And then George Floyd happened. I stayed up for 4 days and 4 nights. I think I was literally in shock. My body, I literally watched that whole live 8-minute video. And it did a lot to me, but also for me afterwards. So my question to y'all is, um, what toll does it take to constantly witness uh, traumas and injustices in our community? Not only just being a regular person, but also being on the front line for our people. How does that take a toll on you mentally, in your spirit? Brother Jabari, I'll let you go first with that.
Yeah, it's devastating. I mean, because it's not just the seeing the killing on camera. It's dealing with the families. You know, it's showing up to court with the families. It's organizing the protest and talking to other families who haven't even whose family member haven't been promoted on the news. So it's being a counselor. It's dealing with other deaths in their family and being there for them for deaths in their family. Being there to help them financially. So it's a whole thing. It's a commitment, you know, when you deal with, it's almost like a marriage when you're dealing with a victim who lost a loved one. And it could be a call at 5 in the morning, 3 in the morning. And a lot of people don't see that. They only see the big court dates. They only see the news, you know what I mean? But they don't see the work that goes behind it. And a lot of times, us who really do the work behind closed doors, who don't have big nonprofits, you know what I'm saying, don't even get mentioned, you know what I'm saying? And
Right.
so yeah, and that be the hardship of it. I take a lot of it to sleep. I don't sleep for days for some of these things to go on, you know. And you know, people will call us. It was a brother we was trying to help out with, and some people was breaking into his house. He didn't want to deal with the police because his loved one got killed by the police, so he calls the people. You know what I'm saying? And so it's a 24-hour thing, you know. It's sometimes you have to question what are you doing it for? Like, are you doing anything for yourself sometimes? But I look at it like if there was a red light and no police around, would I still stop? You know what I'm saying? There's no heaven or hell. Would you do what's right? And so you have to have that sound inside of your body, your mind, and your spirit to know that, you know what I'm saying, you're doing this because this is fulfilling to you, not because you're going to get applause from anybody else, because it is no applause for a revolutionary. There's no retirement plan for a revolutionary, which is something that we're working on for the elders now, on how to support them to get their medicines and to get around. But we know that it's not going to be nothing. The glory in it is to go out as a martyr, because if you go old, people forget about you. You know, Rosa Parks died alone. You know what I mean? Dr. Francis Cress Wilson died alone. You know what I mean? And so many of our elders died sick and alone without people to remember them when they gave their whole life for the movement. So we have to, you know, stay sound. And I remember Phineas said in the book she did with Jasmine Guy, when the Panthers lost the spirituality, because, you know, at one point Huey was saying religion is the opiate of the people, and they got away from religion. But at the same time, if you don't have some kind of belief in a connection with your ancestors and your creator that keep you sound and keep you balanced in this, if you don't have my art, then you'll go crazy. And that's what they do with us. They just give us too much. They send us back and forth to court. They give us cases, and then we go crazy, and then we fail in the movement.
Wow, yeah, that's so true, and that's so, man, that's so powerful, right there. And
Teach, 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 teach.
brother
That's all
Raheem,
facts.
brother Raheem, my question to you, it's a different question. Is in the movement, I would say, I mean, the men to women ratio could be equal. It might be a bit more men than it is women. But my question to you is, um, being a man, and a masculine man, many revolutionaries may not feel safe with being vulnerable. I know you've been in the military before, you've been in the Navy, and certain branches teach you to, you know, hold that emotion and that type of energy inside. Don't show that, because that's what's going to get you killed. And so,
Right.
my question to you is, how do you navigate expressing your emotions while still being committed to the movement, and the mission?
That's tough. And salute first and foremost, Jabari, to your work. You know what I'm saying? And hold your head, brother. That's work. You know what I'm saying? Revolutionary work. Keep your feet and your boots on the ground, man. And you got a soldier once again, like, you know what I mean? And to navigate me,
Being
I could
vulnerable,
say that,
emotions.
right, to emotions, like I'm not necessarily emotional person. I get angry, but I'm not angry at, well, damn, how can I even put it? I mean, like,
It's definitely a loaded question, but you know, for the people out there that will see this, you know,
right. Like I say this, like boom. I say this. You could typically ask me how I'm doing, right? Me personally. I'd be like, yeah, I'm cool. But with
yeah,
everything that's going on in our world, I'm pissed the fuck off.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And so I can't necessarily be Superman and jump around and go pounce on the government every day, go take this person out the office and take back the land. I could just spread the word and set the tone. You know what I mean? And I could say in my personal world, I try to keep it as peaceful as much possible. Like I don't bring work home and I don't bring home work. You know what I'm saying? And I don't try to have any try to arguments with my lady online. You know what I'm saying? Like I try to keep my world as private as much as possible, but I am open to like, yo, you wanna know me, I'll tell you about me in 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? I'm not hiding. You know what I'm saying? So but to be a black man in America, you're gonna be emotional. You know what I mean? Like in this movement, you're gonna see things that's gonna piss you off, like with George Floyd, that whole video. You know what I'm saying? And then I think about George Zimmerman. He's still walking around. You know what I'm saying? We think about Sonya Massey, hot boiled, she quote unquote pot of water. That man could have tased her. He could have maced her. He could have left her the heck alone. Walked out the house. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't harming nobody. He pulled out his pistol and shot her. You know what I'm saying? And so those instances bring me to it rings bells in my mind. You know what I mean? Because we say justice. I'm like, yo, justice. How about street justice? You know what I'm saying? Because in our community, the eye for eye, tooth for tooth is happening every day. These young brothers at war with each other every day for all types of situations. You know what I'm saying? But when it's happening to us, we just screaming justice. We marching. And I ain't gonna hold you. Right out here in Norfolk, Virginia, I was right there with them, marching for Sonya Massey. You know what I'm saying? But Chicago should have got that hillbilly man. That's all facts. So that's how I channel my emotion. I ain't gonna hold you. Like I use my emotion to educate, elevate, innovate, dedicate, never hate. And that's about it. And I got love for our babies. You know what I'm saying? I got a daughter and a son. So my daughter, she keep my emotions intact. My son keep me humble. And the hugs and the kisses that mean everything to me. You know what I mean? And when you got a lady, you hugging her, you make love to whatever. You know what I mean? Man, woman, child. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
It brings the peace. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It brings the
Absolutely. I
peace.
love that. What about you, brother? Jabbar, I want you to answer that question before we get into our closing questions.
Yeah, well, I have a confidant right now at this time, and then I go to a men's group, and then I've been hosting workshops lately, and it's therapy for me as well as the people that's there. I've been hosting something called "Men Don't Cry?" question mark, because you know what I mean. We can get caught in our emotions and do too much. I go to something else called Thug Therapy, and the theme there is it's all right to not be all right, and understanding and overstanding that it's all right to not be all right. Feel that emotion, live that emotion, but you make decisions and you have a choice to make a bad decision, or you see what I'm saying? So I live in it and know it's human to have emotions and work accordingly. But I definitely go to therapy. I definitely talk to people, work out, and try to eat good as I can to keep my mental focus. I know that's part of the struggle, part of the war too. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I've
Absolutely.
seen more Panthers die from stress and
Eating
bad
bad.
eating than
Eating
COINTELPRO.
bad. That part, that's facts.
Absolutely. And so keeping our emotional, physical, and mental spaces pure and uplifted, making sure we're eating good, healthy foods. Because I know when you're stressed out, you eat stressed out. Making sure that we're getting grounded. That means going fishing with your comrades, or I know some of us we go crabbing together. We be out there crabbing, and we'll just be hanging out and just that'll be our self-care. We'll get together or we'll go, do yoga or something like that, as a community, as a group. And so just finding those ways to um
We did
talk and
combat training this past
yeah,
Saturday.
yeah, talk
I'm
and
still
release.
sore. That was highly intense. It was
Yeah,
good. It was
yeah,
good camaraderie though. I'm not gonna hold you with General Mike Payne and a few other brothers and sisters. It was good camaraderie. Caught me way off guard. I thought I was tough until I was in that combat training. I'm like, man, look, I'm still sore now. So that does help. You know what I mean? Because as the brother Jabari said, it's all right not to be all right. You know what I mean? It's all right to cry. You know what I mean? Like, and I realized that in my years, you know what I'm saying, with things I went through personally with family and things I lost, my brother, I cried. You heard? And I never cried like that in my life. And there's still times I cry to this day. You know what I'm saying? So I realized it's all right not to be all right, but
yeah,
please don't crash out. You know what I mean? And if you're gonna crash out, I advise you on some ways you go George Zimmerman's and them. I tell you, I point you in the right direction. Tell they want to crash out on
Ready to
some
put the crash
people.
out
I will give
energy
them a
in.
list of of headquarters where them people be at. But that's another story.
Crash out there. If you're gonna crash
Yeah.
You
out.
feel me? No
Too
crashing out
funny.
though.
And so guys, thank y'all so much for this amazing call. Again, y'all been dedicated. I know we started off with a little technical difficulty, but we definitely let it flow and work through it. But one of my last questions I want to ask to both of you before I tap in and see what you have going on in y'all's local area. What do you hope this generation and the next generation learn about liberation work? Um, that we have to learn the hard way. What do we want them to know that we have to learn through trial and error ourselves? Go ahead, Jabari.
Want them to stop begging for others to do for them what they could do for themselves. You know, we've been marching and protesting for way too long, asking for better schools. Malcolm told us, you know, only a fool would send his children to his enemies to be educated, and we still begging them to give us better schools. We could have been built a school. We seen the example from Garvey, how he bought them ships. You know, we could do crowd fundraising campaigns, and we could build our own government, build our own institutions, and what we need. You know, we got everything that we need right at the tips of our hands, and we could network through ourselves. And we don't need nobody else. We made mistakes with all of these alliances before that all failed us, and we watched other people come up while we still in the same position.
Absolutely, brother Jabari. And my question to you, brother Raheem, my last question for you is if you could leave one message for the people um who are listening or who will listen, who want to join an organization, a black movement organization, black liberation organization, but don't know where to start, what would it be? How could they tap into finding something in their local community or area that will be in alignment with them?
I mean, first and foremost, I ain't gonna lie to you. I tell people to join the original Black Panther Party under General Mike Payne. If they're if they're familiar with them, I would tell them to research them. And at the same time, you don't have to necessarily join an organization to be a leader in your community. You don't have to join an organization to be a revolutionary. You can start right where you at. You know what I mean? You can start right on your porch and start from there. And so it don't take people to join organizations to make things happen. It takes people to take that initiative
Yeah.
and make it happen. And they can name their organization Timbuktu or whatever, the Garveys or the Dr. Marcus Garvey or Coretta Scott Kings or the Betty Shabazzes, whoever, the Nat Turners, they can name their organizations whatever. I would tell brothers and sisters, if you don't join the original Black Panthers or certain other organizations like the UNIA or several other organizations, you know what I'm saying? Hey, start your own organization. You know what I mean? Keep it honorable. Learn the 10-point platform. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause that's very important. Learn the Miyat. You feel me? Follow the laws of Miyat, and your organization can't fold. You know what I'm saying? And also make money in your organization so we could be just like Marcus Garvey, where we buying ships, where we traveling on our own, what we're really doing for self. We buying institutions, we buying banks, we buying land. They can't tell us shit. So I would tell
And look,
people,
and look, I still believe in our good brother Dr. Umar. His school gonna come. It's gonna
hey,
open up.
absolute.
I
I
still
ride with
believe
Dr.
it.
Umar Johnson.
Don't talk about
It's,
Dr. Umar, man, because
absolutely, absolutely.
you
He
don't know. It's easy for somebody to talk that ain't never tried to open up a school, let alone a storefront, and
absolutely.
all the hoops you got to go with. And he's doing it. I mean,
He and
mainly
he
by his
got the
skill. He has
building,
something that
and
he's
all
doing it.
he need is for real a strong bank account. Somebody fund him that money. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And like I said, you got the Dallas Cowboys and the Oakland Raiders playing. 10 brothers could put money into his school easy, and charge him a little interest. Be like, hey, I need this percentage back monthly or annually or yearly, or it's just yours. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? That's easy, but that's part of liberation, man. We spread the word, and hopefully people wake up. But we won't have those problems when we setting up our school. People do it, or we doing it on our own. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Brother Jabari, can you please let us know? We're at the end of the year. Let us know what you have going on in your local area in Oakland. Anything that people can tap in, tune into, or somebody can let somebody else know if that are in your area to pull up.
Well, I host the open mic poetry on Thursday nights at Desi's Lounge. It's a club owned by Mr. Fab, an open rapper. But we do poetic expressions. It's called Snap, Claps, and Daps. It's at 1802 Telegraph Ave. And we have Black Love is an Actor Revolution workshop coming up December 13th at a Coma Lounge in Oakland. We'll be doing some Kwanzaa celebration for the day at Nia at the Timbuktu Institute with yeah, so it's a lot going on. We having meetings with the Haitian Action Committee. So you can hit us on our website, www.uniacl.rc2020.com, or you can follow me at Minister of Confrontation on Instagram, Jabari Shaw on Facebook, Jabari Garvey on TikTok. And I'm always posting information, and we love to meet more people, rub elbows, and get this work done.
Absolutely. And same for you, Brother Raheem. Can you just let everybody know what you have going on to close out the year in your community in Philly?
Right now we have a coat drive coming up with the original Black Panthers, and our events are basically almost every Saturday. We stay busy, you know what I mean, remaining control in the neighborhoods, and at the same time we're vanguards for our community. And so we don't necessarily post what's going on. We don't post certain things just due to the fact we have to move in operation security. You feel me? And so I would tell people to lock in with us, and at the same time, I post the link is on the chat. You feel me?
Absolutely. Thank y'all so much. And I want y'all
Like,
to see, you
Hey,
know what I'm saying?
hey,
I want y'all to see, hold on, I want y'all to see my red, black, and green jacket
absolute
right here.
oh,
RBG.
that's dope.
Yep,
You
You know
gotta
what I'm
send me
saying?
I
one of
peeped that
them.
earlier. I
Um,
You
peeped
gotta
that
a,
send me
earlier.
that.
a good sister out here in San Antonio, she handmade this. She had I saw her with the whole
Tough.
she handmade this. She customized the patch and I put it on my jacket. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So shout out
tough.
to Larisha X out there in San
Appreciate it.
Antonio, Muslim sister doing her thing. It's $100 custom
I'm,
made. The patches are
I'm gonna have you
$15.
plug me in with her. All right.
I'm gonna have to plug you in. She do everything else custom too as well. So you have
Tenfold.
to get that plug
Yeah.
in.
Race
Tenfold.
first.
That
Hey,
jacket
since
tough. I
I
saw
be
that shit.
remiss, I forgot to mention November 22nd, we honoring Steve McCutcheon, original member of the Black Panther Party. He was the martial arts teacher. They presenting him with like his fifth black belt or something like that. I mean, the man old, but he can
I
still make his
straight.
toe
I
touch his
straight.
forehead. You know what I mean? You don't see that often. You feel me?
Nah.
He originally from Boston, but he came down when Huey revamped the party. I think in '72, and he brought everybody back to Oakland. So we be honoring him. So if you're in the local area, man, I don't know the address, but it's all over social media. Steve McCutcheon from the Black Panther Party,
Tenfold. Hey, your
and
brother
you're doing a
Jabari, send
great
me your
job,
Facebook.
sister. Yes,
Send me
sir.
your
Yes,
Facebook,
sir.
brother Jabari.
Yes, sir. And yours, Raheem Shabazz on Facebook.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
It's
sir. Yes,
Raheem
sir. I'm gonna send.
Shabazz 7.
Yes, sir, man. It's a blessing being on here with you, brother. I got people in
I
Philly
appreciate
too.
both of
I
y'all.
plan
I
to visit
appreciate
again
y'all.
soon. Yeah, I'll
I
be
learned
be
a
on
lot from
Broad
y'all.
and yeah, by Temple. You know, it's a UNIA Liberty Hall there off of Broad by
Absolutely.
Temple. Yes, sir.
By Temple University. Absolutely. I'm in contact with the brothers who are the UNIA out here in Philadelphia and the ones out here in Hampton.
Yes,
There's
sir.
a
Yes, sir.
do you know brother Lumumba and sister Empress Shay?
No, no.
Okay, I'm gonna plug y'all
Uh,
in with them. They be good people for
I
y'all
know
to
a brother
chat
named
with as
Mark
well.
P from Philly. Mark P. But my
Sound
president
familiar.
general's in Philly too. The Honorable Akili Malik Nkrumah.
I
He used
know
to teach
him.
at
I
the
know
Marcus
him.
Garvey Shule.
Okay, that's an elder.
Yes, sir. That's
Absolutely.
my
Yeah.
president general.
Tenfold. Tenfold.
See how
And
we
we all
already
going.
we already in cahoots. We all connected. You know, by one person. It's just one person.
I say.
Absolutely.
But you know, guys, thank y'all so much. This is our time. This has been my longest podcast, which is good. To have some real conversations, real revolutionaries on the call. Thank y'all so much for all that y'all do. And we're gonna continue to build and connect. And I hope one day soon we all get to come together and be in one room. But without further ado, we're gonna close off this podcast with a big Black Power fist. All power to the
Black
people.
power.
All
We're gonna
power
keep
to the
Black
people.
power. Power to the
rising, we're gonna keep
people.
shining, and keep showing up in the ways that we do. So I'm gonna end this live, and brothers, y'all just stay on the backstage for me. Peace and power to y'all.
And peace and power. Race
Peace,
first.
power.
We gotta build a strong black nation. We gotta build a strong black army. Fighting for my liberation. Cause I believe in God and coffee. I ain't looking for no handouts. I'm fighting for my just dues. I represent the vanguard, the front line of revolution. We don't need their nooses.